A tender lovely named Akito travels all over town looking for her brother's house. When she arrives, she confuses to him that she feels strange seeing him after so long, and the fact that they are schoolmates make it even stranger. He tells her that there is nothing to worry about and tells his sister to take a bath to relax. Akiko blushes because she thinks she will spy on her, but her brother innocently replies that if she wants, she can take a bath before him, which relaxes Akiko later. While bathing, Akiko gets up angrily and goes to her Oni-chan's room, accusing him of being a pervert who tricked her only so he could spy on her. While she was bathing, he replies that she has no idea what Akiko is telling him, so she gets angry and demands that he go spy on her since that is a normal thing to do. Between a man and a woman, she goes back to the bedroom and angrily waits for her brother to go spy on her, but he ignores her that he goes to Akiko's room to say goodbye before going to sleep and realizes that she's offnet with him since he did not go to spy on her. The boy uses logic and reminds Akiko that they are siblings and it would be right to do that. She doesn't seem to fully understand why her Oni-chan told her, so she invites him to spend the night together. He pretends not to take hints from his crazy sister and leaves the room. The sibling couple talk about their childhood until they decide to carry out household chores at the moment, and Akiko confuses to her brother that she loves him, and he thinks her sister is referring to a family love, so she responds in kind. She blesses and some fighting. Upon waking up, Akiko discovers that she is not the only girl in the house, but that the protagonist has a group of wivers living in the house. The next day, Akiko joins the student center, which is composed entirely of the wife is living with her, and her brothers spend the day doing the things as students who belong to a student center. Until the evening comes, the group prepares dinner and gets into an argument to decide who will sit next to the luckiest protagonist in the wall. The girl makes Akiko's angry, but telling her one of them will take Akiko. But Akiko bursts into rage, replies that only she can take her on the enchants we care since it doesn't matter that they are siblings. If they really love each other, she also seizes the moment, confesses her love to Akito again. In front of his other suitors, he again responds instantly, and that she loves her too. So Akito begins to imagine the wedding day. Her illusions are interrupted when Akito reminds her that the love he feels for her is what any brothers would have. Loi is embarrassed as the wafers make fun on her. Akiko reads a romance novel, starting to insensuous siblings. He is surprised by Akito love as a kind of books his sister reads, as well as telling her that the author of this book is a degenerate. She replies that he is wrong and then asks him, please give the book a change. But Akito just ignores this and leaves telling her to please read quality. In the morning, Akito meets with his co-worker. She compliments him of the hard work he does to financially support his sister. Tells him that his style is very similar to the incestuous author Akiko had mentioned earlier. It's housework day at home, so everyone pay peaches. To keep things tidy and clean, all the wifers end up asking Akito for help. He works harder than anyone else during the whole afternoon and calls Akito to her room to ask for something alone. He arrives and finds her sleeping, so she wakes her up and asks for the reason. For their meeting, she confuses to him that she never did housework as her parent had a lot of money and her builder did everything for her. She asked Akito for help to tidy up the room. While doing so, Akito finds a box of stuffed animals and she is embarrassed. She tells her it's nothing to worry about. Next day at school, the siblings were having lunch under a tree until they are interrupted by Anna. Confuses her love to Akito. A strange way this makes Akiko freak out and the Akito gets nervous, but Anna realizes that Akito can give her any answer, ends up telling them that it was just a joke. Kim prepares dinner until she is surprised by Akito brought her a cake as a gift. This is a harem. They take the cake to Jin's room and she hints her love for the main character, but she doesn't realize what she is trying to tell him, so she thanks him for his friendship. Being saddened by being friend-zoned, they cheer it up when Akito innocently tells her she is a beautiful girl. There Anna calls Akito back and Akito shows her the huge amount of stuffed animals. She now has a well as explaining that the hybrid to the world's largest technology company. Before Akio says goodbye, Anna provocatively eats a banana, then purposely steps on the peel. She can fall on top of Akito, but he leaves anyway. Then Akito's editor was talking on the phone with him till she hears Akiko in the background, thinks she is his girlfriend. He reassures her that she just his sister, putting the call Jenna, so that Akito is the author of the incestuous books Akiko was reading early, so she begins to worry about Akito's sentimental situation and goes to Akito's house to investigate the relationship he has with his sister. She asks the rest of the wife about this they tease her by telling her that this information is true. The moment Akiko arrives and Gino asks Akiko bluntly what is going on with Akito, and she replies, crazy in love with him. But the Akito only sees her as a sister and realizes that Akito is crazy and leaves. Marisha tells the group about the new person who will be living with them, so everyone starts to have tremendous expectations. Suddenly the door opens and a girl named Arisa appears. Anna asks Akito if that wasn't the stepsister he lived with during that time was with his adoptive family. Girl interrupts them and tells Anna that Akito is her fiance. Mika initiates a vote to kick Arisa out the residence, but everyone votes against. When she is furious, Akio explains to all the wifeys that Ari's parents were the ones in charge, getting them engaged, that he didn't think much of it. After the group has a picnic in the park, Kiko challenges Arisa to a duel, determine if she is worthy of being Akito's fiance. The girl wins in all three tests and earns Akiko's respect, so the three become great friends. The wifeys go to a clothes store, swimsuits to go to the beach. I'll try on different models. Jin and Arisa feel insecure because of their lovely bodies. Kiko decides to help them better highlight their beauty and gives them some suggestions. The wifers return to the residence and have a swimsuit competition, in which Akido will have to choose which one of his favorite. Whoever wins the competition gets a big prize. After seeing them all, he can't pick any winner, so it's a tie, and they will all have to share the prize. That moment the girl reveals that the prize was to choose Kito's swimsuit to go to the beach, so they start chasing him. Akito is very sick. The wife is called a meeting to decide who is the right person to take care of him. Akiko is very jealous and possessed of her Oni-chan, so the rest of the girls decide that they should all rotate schedules to take care of him. Anna takes advantage of her moment, take care of Akida, and ask him to close his eyes so she can measure his body temperature using her lips. When she does, so she starts to approach him to kiss him. Zaketo notices this and starts to scold her, but Anna pretends to be innocent and leaves the place. Later Jin arrives at Akida's room, sees him delirious from whoever he talks in his sleep, reminds her of the day the two of them, and Jun sleeps with him. It has a flashback of the day, used to be a very popular girl because of her incredible academic level, but that isolated her from everyone because she only concentrated on her studies, had no time to socialize with anyone, made her very arrogant, haughty, so she lost interest in having friends. But one day Akida joined the school and tried to socialize with Jin almost immediately, so the girl was surprised. So one approached her there. Relationship was strained at first. She thought Akida just wanted to become popular, but he insisted for days he could get close to her, even went to her house, challenged her to a fight so that she could take her anger out on him. When they finished their fight, the two become best friends forever. Jin invited Akito to her house. He could take a bath. He undressed in front of her scenes. He was the white-haired, lovely, a boy back in the present. Jin says goodbye to her best friend. Before he wakes up the next day, the cat returns to his normal life. The girls make him choose between them to decide who was the best nurse. Akita tries to get over the situation and chooses Arisha, who didn't even participate much in his career, but Akiko starts crying and tells him that the price of competition was to spend a day alone with him. Arasha receives Akido in his room and acts in a completely different way, even takes off the patch he wears on his eye and tells him about his heterochromia. At night the group gathers outside. The residents do to ice cream from Ariza and decide to go into the forest to investigate at first. Walk together and Akito helps them climb a wall to cross to the other side. Noise carries them, and the group separates into several teams. Anna and Akiko are left alone, begin to talk about their past and different, but how they were friends as children, and how they grew apart because they were in love with Aketo. Totally out of context, Akito takes all the waifu, including Jino as wives in addition. He has children with each of them, and lives in a Hurien, but this was only a dream. Cut Catus forever. Anna has a flashback about the moment she met Akito. She fell deeply in love when she saw the kidney the young man had from all people in the Southwest, where the group returns to the dorm and Mijino, who was looking for the boys to have a sleep. They all enter in the dorm and spend that night together. Orisha takes advantage of the situation to change her skin and show something delicious. At night, Akito was reading his novel when Akita interrupts him to talk about her feelings. He begins to tell to him about the first years they shared together and begins to cry with emotions as she remembers that Akito always accompanied and protected her. Since they were little, he tells her that he loves her to making Akito blush, but when she starts to raise her temperature, Akito kicks her out. In the end, Akito writes in her book how beautiful it is to live with her friends and to have the privilege of living a life of adventure together with her precious sister. She also admits that Akiko is not really her blood sister, prefers to keep it a secret for a while longer.